Hello everyone, today our topic is maritime trade and power of the Portuguese. Today I'll take you on a journey from Roman roots to deep ocean routes. The transformation of Portugal from a small Roman province into one of the world's greatest maritime trade powers. This story shows how innovation, navigation and engineering helped the Portuguese conquer the seas and connect the world through maritime trade. Long before the discovery, Portugal was known as Lusitania under the Roman Empire. The Romans built strong foundation here through roads, engineering, laws, and the Latin language, helping prepare Portugal for future growth. But Portugal did not stop at land power. The real transformation came with advanced ships called caravels with Latin sails. These ships could survive strong winds and travel much further into the ocean, allowing Portugal to move from coastal sailing to deep ocean exploration. The Portuguese also used navigation tools like the astrolabe and Portoland charts to map sea routes more accurately. At the same time, skilled shipbuilders created strong vessels capable of surviving the dangerous Atlantic Ocean. Because of this innovation and courage, Portugal became a global maritime trade power, connecting continents and changing world trade forever. So this was all from my part. Now my second member will talk about why Portuguese chose the sea route.
Hello everyone, now I will talk about why Portugal, a small coastal nation, turned to the sea and began one of the most important maritime expansions in history. In 1400s, trade in valuable goods like spices, silk and precious metals were extremely profitable. However, this trade was controlled by powerful intermediates, especially the Ottoman Empire. These groups acted as middlemen, making trade routes expensive and limiting access for others. Portugal wanted to break this monopoly. Instead of relying on land routes, they aimed to find a direct sea route to Asia, especially to India, where spices were abundant. By doing this, they could trade directly, reduce cost, and increase profits. Another important reason was their strong spirit of exploration. Leaders like Prince Henry the Navigator encouraged maritime journeys. He believed that the sea is our true road. This idea inspired sailors to explore unknown waters. This motivation was not only economic but also religious. Portugal wanted to spread Christianity to new regions, especially in Africa and to Asia, through missionary works. Finally, Portugal was ready for discovery. They had already developed advanced navigation tools and ships design, which made long sea voyages safer and more possible. This allowed them to see the ocean not as a barrier but a highway to opportunity. So the main reasons was to avoid middlemen, to earn more wealth, to explore new lands, and to spread religion. Thank you.
Hello everyone, now I am going to talk about the great venture Why the Sea and explain why the Portugal, a small coastal nation, turned toward the ocean during the 15th century, like this milestone in the maritime. First of all, one of the main reasons was trade and economic profit. At that time, the species trade was controlled by the Venetian and Ottoman merchants. Important goods like spices, silk and other luxury items came from Asia, but Portugal had to depend on middlemen to get them. This made trade expensive and limited Portugal opportunity. To solve this problem, the Portuguese wanted to discover a direct sea route to Asia. They believed that controlling their own trade routes would bring great wealth and power of their country, like this in this poster. Secondly, another important reason was the spirit of exploration and adventure. Princess Henry, the navigator, strongly encouraged sailors to explore the unknown seas. He famously believed that the sea is our true road. His vision inspired many Portuguese explorers to travel beyond familiar waters. They were motivated not only by the search for gold, silver and spices, but also by the desire to spread Christianity through the missionary. So economic ambition and religious goals both play a major role in Portuguese expansion. Portugal was also prepared for their great journey because of this advancement in navigation and maritime technology. The Portuguese developed a strong ship, better maps and improved navigation tools. This innovation gave sailors the confidence to travel across the ocean. Slowly, the sea was no longer seen as a dangerous barrier. Instead, it became a highway connecting different countries and cultures. Finally, Portugal looked to the sea because of trade, adventure, religious and technical progress. Their courage and determination opened the door to a new age of exploration that changed the world history forever. Now my next member will discuss another topic.
Hello everyone. Today I will be discussing the spice race commodities that rule an empire, which focuses on the economic power behind the Portuguese and Maritime success. At the center of this trade was paper, often called as black gold. So it was a very valuable in Europe, not just for its flavor but also for preserving food. In fact, it was sometimes used as money. By controlling the sea routes to paper producing regions, and Portugal gained massive profits and turned Lisbon into a major financial hub of Europe. But paper was not only valuable commodity. There was also some product that we can call the exotic trio, which was cloves, cinnamon, and the nutmeg. These spices were high demand because they were used as medicine, cooking, and even as a status symbol among the wealthy. Since these spices were rare in Europe, their prices were very high, making trade extremely profitable. Beyond spices, Portuguese expanded into goods, creating border trade networks. They transported silk, textile from Asia to Europe, and from Africa they traded ivory and timber, which were valuable craftsmanship and for construction. By connecting these different regions, Asia, Africa and Europe, the Portuguese didn't just trade goods, they created one of the largest global trade systems in history. In conclusion, it was not just about exploration or military power, it was that made Portugal strong. It was control over these high-value commodities that actually truly built an empire. Thank you so much. Now I would like to welcome my next presenter.
Hello everyone, today I will talk about the Portuguese strategy in the Indian Ocean and how they become powerful through choke points and naval strength. The Portuguese did not try to conquer the huge areas land at first, instead they focused on controlling sea routes and trading centers. This strategy is called the choke point strategy. As you can see on the poster, they captured the important routes like Goa, Malacca and Hormuz. By controlling these points, the Portuguese could control the trade in the Indian Ocean. Another reason for their success is their Portuguese armed ship. By using their small number of ships, they can easily defeat the large merchant ship that has weaker weapon system, and their ships acted like a floating force on the sea. The Portuguese also introduced something called charter system. This was a naval pass or license. Ships traveling in the Indian Ocean needed permission from the Portuguese. If a ship did not have a charter, the Portuguese could capture it. Because of this system, the Portuguese become the gatekeepers of the sea trade. So in conclusion, the Portuguese become powerful because of three main reasons. First, controlling important choke points. Second, having strong naval firepower. And third, using the charter system to control trade. Thank you everyone. I would like to invite my new group member to present his topic.
Greetings everyone, my name is Satma Shakiran and I will be ending the journey by mentioning the ways the Portuguese Empire from the medieval ages have impacted our society, our culture and overall the whole world. The legacy that endures. First of all, we have to talk about their trademark maritime affairs. It has definitely shaped our view on sea routes and trading. What started as a mere desire to strengthen a dying economy rife with conflicts soon became one of the most revolutionary things that humans have ever done. Their sophisticated boats, the Roman inheritance of technical skills, paired with their ingenuity, led to sea travel being a luxury that modern-day sailors can now enjoy. The trade networks formed from these routes opened many backwater regions to currency and goods trade. Western Sahara part of Africa can now trade with Indian Ocean routes like this. They also opened up many routes that can bear some of the burdens of already overburdened channels like Hormuz and Suez Canal. And it's not only commodities they carried, the seeds of Christianity was also spread as mentioned earlier. We see churches, missionaries throughout the subcontinent. There is an ever-growing population of Catholics in our societies that can easily trace their roots back to these Portuguese sailors. So in a way, they introduced the first concept of global village, and that too only by merit. Thank you everyone.